My name is Caul Grant. I am known as the chairman of the Campaign for Truth and Justice, and I'm here today to make a declaration. I, Caul Grant, chairman of the above organisation, CTJ, make the following declaration of fact and of law. The state of the United Kingdom has become a lawbreaker and thus cannot continue to be a law enforcer. Therefore, neither I or any members, past, present or future, of Campaign for Truth and Justice can be lawfully prosecuted by the State of the United Kingdom for any act which would otherwise be considered illegal or unlawful. I would like to quote something that was brought to my attention by a former Attorney General, Lord Goldsmith. In a government of laws, existence of the government will be imperilled if it fails to observe the law scrupulously. Government is the most omnipresent teacher for good or ill. It teaches the whole people by its example. If the government becomes a lawbreaker, it breeds contempt for the law. It invites every man to become a law unto himself. It invites anarchy. The state of the United Kingdom has become a lawbreaker and thus cannot continue to be a law enforcer. Until or unless the issues of judicial lawbreaking, which involves unlawful convictions, false imprisonment, denial of access to court, which is a grave perversion of justice, are fully addressed, any action of law enforcement taken against us will be wholly unlawful. We demand our right to protection of the law, or else we demand our right to protect ourselves. The judiciary of England and Wales is guilty of an ongoing grave perversion of justice and is aided by the silence of the media, Downing Street, several members of Parliament and other government agencies. This document is dated the 14th of September 2009, the date that I was released from 6 years and 1 month of unlawful imprisonment, having been wrongfully convicted and denied all access to court by way of appeal or habeas corpus. What spurred me on to begin the fight, to continue the fight in the first place, is from my very first experience back in 1999, when I spent 2 months locked up in prison after a judge, a senior High Court judge, presided over a matter which was being prosecuted by his brother or his brother's law firm, and he then ordered that I should go to prison. Despite me not being there and not having any legal representation, I was picked up from the street by Scotland Yard and brought straight to Pentonville Prison, where I remained for 2 months without ever passing through court. After 2 months, the prison authorities realised I shouldn't have been there, and they brought me to court, and another judge released me saying, "Mr. Grant, the background of your case is extremely tragic, go home to your family." Now, when I walked out of court that day, 28th of May 1999, I wondered how many before me had been subjected to the same thing and probably even longer in prison, and I decided that day that I would fight this and take it wherever it took me. We have been subjected to years of state abuse, years of the judiciary deliberately violating the rule of law, violating human rights, being thrown in prison without any due process. And because of our study of the law and understanding of it, we know that a lawbreaker cannot be a law enforcer. When I was behind closed doors, there was very little I could do to try to bring this to public attention. But now that I am out here, I'm able to try to do whatever I possibly can to try to bring to the world attention that the state of the United Kingdom has engaged in deliberate lawbreaking. Because we have the understanding that no lawbreaker can be a law enforcer, it puts us in a position to declare ourselves, if you like, to put it in plain English, untouchable. Article 7 of the Human Rights Act guarantees no punishment without law. So in another way of interpreting that is where the law has failed to protect you against abuse, you're entitled to protect yourself. The same law that has failed to protect you cannot then seek to punish you for protecting yourself. Although we have documentation from the BBC, from the Times newspaper, from the Daily Mirror, from the Independent. All of these people who are aware of it have remained silent about everything that has gone on, and they've remained silent because of the implications for the entire criminal and civil justice system in this country. Most of the help that we've had in terms of media so far has come from our community radio stations, this otherwise known as pirate radio stations. They have always given us a forum where we can bring to public attention all of the issues, and through the community radio stations we were able to conduct a march back in, I think, 2002. So yes, the community stations, if not for them, I don't think we would have been this far with our cause.
This is LG, welcoming you back to Speakeasy. My studio guest is Caul Grant, and for those of you who have just joined us, I've been sent a text, in fact, from someone who said, can we do a quick recap? Now, essentially, Caul is a person who, quite tragically, lost his son at a very young age. There was doubt, and there still remains doubt, about the ability of the hospital to provide adequate care, providing Caul a father with information that would have enabled him to be at the bedside of his son. Whether his son would have passed or not, he had a right to be there. The series of events that then transpired was that Caul attempted to sue the hospital. The pursuit through the courts led to a series of events which I personally find quite deplorable, unbelievable, and unjust. What then went on was that he endeavoured to sue the law firm. Caul, share more.
What I was beginning to experience, if you like, is the impact of the brotherhood of
the
law.
brotherhood being of law, of course.
Yeah. Now, the senior partner at this firm, Reynolds Potter Chamberlain, Alan Toulson, his brother sits in. If the people of this country were to be aware of these facts, I am sure there would be national outrage. If the rest of the world was aware of these facts, this country would be in disgrace, because it's supposed to be setting the example, or it claims to set the example to jurisdictions around the world about so-called democracy and so on. They later went back to him and claimed that we want justice to be seen to be done. We want the state to be held accountable, because if you and I are to be held accountable to the law, then the state, the law enforcers, ought to be held accountable to the same law. And that brother judge ordered that I should be picked up off the street and taken straight to prison without the same rules that apply to the governed should apply to the governors, and we demand that that be done.
We live in a democratic country, a country where it is said, it is written in the rule of law, that we have free speech. We can express ourselves, and we should expect the law to represent us if we have been wronged.
If we can understand this argument, which is not, it's not out of this world, it's quite straightforward, in fact, we can realize what a powerful position we are in.